Growing up in the 2000s and early 2010s, I remember how things used to be. TV, movies, video games, internet, music. And I'm not the only one who remembers the good old days when there was originality, creativity, emotion, engagement, inspiration, all that good stuff. Remember when that app called Vine was popular? To me, that period of time was a peak for entertainment and other areas of media consumption, even though changes were happening before then. Nowadays, I notice a pattern or two with news, entertainment, politics, and the music industry where things seem to be manipulated, engineered, bland, biased, unoriginal, repetitive, unsettling, unappealing, or conforming to some message, narrative, or an illusion of choice. What is going on here? I think that fellow millennials can visually and audibly remember some aspects of this trip down memory lane. It's almost like my personal rendition of Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, GameCube, Nintendo 64, Do a Barrel Roll, Nintendo DS and DSi, Game Boy Advance, a little bit of Xbox, a little bit of NES and Super NES, Sega Genesis in the realm of older consoles at the time, a small dabbling with Wii Sports, let's not forget the PS2, all we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ, PSP, browser games, late 90s and 2000s Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network had these programs called Toonami and one called Miguzi. The all-time favorite childhood cartoon is Ed, Edd and Eddy. And I would not want to see a remake of that show because remakes of childhood favorites, some video games, it doesn't always get a good rap. I would be curious to see a series detailing the adult years of Ed, Edd and Eddy, something like that. There's also Adult Swim, PBS. When I was real young, like Clifford the Big Red Dog, Arthur, Wishbone, WWE, primarily Monday Night Raw, MTV, but mainly for shows like Jackass and Ridiculousness. Comedy Central, CNN. And I remember watching CNN when I was younger when Russia was invading the country of Georgia. And there was the Casey Anthony case, the Copiapo, Chile copper mine collapse and rescue mission. That one was when I was a freshman in high school. These just name a few things. Honorable commercial mentions. The Berries and Cream Starburst commercial. The We Wish You a Merry Christmas Hershey Kisses jingle. The one from Moon Shoes, Zoo Books, those ad council ones, Sock 'em Boppers, the Caveman Geico commercials. I vaguely remember the Wilford Brimley diabetes commercials. The Slap Chop commercial. That one really had me taken aback when I watched that for the first time. The Chef Boyardee commercial where that can of ravioli follows that little girl home after mom's like, no, not tonight yet, chef every night this week. And all those Billy Mays commercials. I wondered why he had to be so loud though. Chia, even the Chia Pets, those growy things. Spy Gear toys, those Red Bull commercials, Silly Rabbit from Trix, the Captain Crunch commercials, the animated Pop-Tart commercials, Time Life's music commercials, like the one for the Ultimate Love Songs collection. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly. Yeah, that annoyed some people. FreeCreditReport.com songs, the Ship My Pants Kmart commercial, the Stride Gum commercials threatening you to spit out your piece and open a new one already, or else they would find you. Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercial, the JG Wentworth commercials. And I can go on for a while. Late 2000s and early 2010, Facebook, MySpace, and YouTube. My first favorite channel was Chad, Matt, and Rob. They were the first to introduce the concept of interactive adventures to YouTube. You would select a video choice at the end of one video and it would take you down a path or something like that. There'd be like right answers or wrong answers. Thankfully, you could find those old commercials right here on YouTube. The internet seemed like free-range frontier before the suggestive algorithmic takeover and adoption of artificial intelligence to power searches and creation of content. But that's what I miss about Vine. Now to music favorites of the era. Green Day, Audioslave, Three Doors Down, the Adam Gontier era of 3 Days Grace, Nickelback, controversial first ones might be Stain, Seether, Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, the William Duvall era of Alice in Chains, Sick Puppies, Creed, P.O.E., Five Finger Death Punch, Pull of Mud, Avenged Sevenfold, when Nightmare came out. And if you haven't figured it out, I'm not big on country. I also grew up listening to the big grunge bands, including the Lane Staley era of Alice in Chains, classic rock bands like the Rolling Stones, Kiss, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Steve Miller. But again, I'm selective on country. I prefer country that came out pretty much before the year 2004. Now, becoming an adult when things were becoming different. I lost much interest in TV that decade up to the present because the internet's where it is at for me right now and back then at that point. And now I get to choose what I want to watch, and I have my select tastes, old and new. But I also got to watching things like Vine compilations and fail army content on YouTube, 2013, 2014. But pretty much from this point forward, I've become less accustomed with newer stuff and traditional way of consuming media, especially with me having to work my first job back then, starting in 2012. I'm finishing up school, and also I was able to drive and explore. Was that just a part of growing up and maturity, or was it that I didn't have the time or desire for that aspect of screen time and much of gaming? Undoubtedly, it's both in their respective ways. And in the opening of this video, I mentioned how things have changed in broadcasting and how I've noticed things. Over time, I became a curious thinker, and I got to understand how narratives, biases, social conditioning, mind control, history revision, and manipulation of thought and public opinion work. Aesthetics and methods change also. Just like how fast food joints are being remodeled to resemble office buildings. It occurs to me that books and print publications count as media, but that's not going to be featured in this video, but even they are subject to things I just now mentioned. Still, I remember what all once was. Every generation has their treasured memories, experiences, and ways of momentary escape. Mine's got ours. And it's good to have these memories. It shows how far we've come. And the nostalgia can give us that warm, fuzzy, pick-me-up feeling. It does not help to rage over how much color the world has lost. It should be up to us as individuals to provide that color in our own lives and make new memories and have meaningful experiences. Because remembering when is not an all-purpose repair tool for all problems. By the way, cable TV has lost much of its popularity. Means of accessing audio and video can nowadays fit in your pocket or your laptop satchel. You can pair Bluetooth headphones to your phone and listen to music your way. Although radio is still prominent. Or if you're somewhere like on break at work or you're at a friend's house, you can whip out your laptop or your phone and you can watch videos. But here's the thing, streaming services are the thing now. I remember when Blockbuster and other video stores were open, but streaming and the internet displaced them. And even Redbox is the thing of the past now. I personally don't use Netflix, Peacock, Disney Plus, Hulu, or whatever else. Why pay for something when I'm not going to watch regularly? Even if it is more financially feasible than traditional cable. I suppose the closest thing I have to a streaming service is YouTube Premium, because I'm willing to pay a little to not see ads and to have other nice perks it has to offer as well. But what makes YouTube special for me is that I can use it as a form of time travel too. I can look up older shows and those commercials I was talking about at any given time. Maybe I'll come around and try to indulge in newer content, newer stuff, entertainment and movie-wise. But I'm always looking for specific stuff, though a wide array of it. Sounds kind of hypocritical, huh? I don't like ads, but I like to watch old commercials every now and then. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah.